I'll tell you what, our first question for you today is going to come from Robert Allen of Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Chuba, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Hey, good, and good to see you sitting there. Mike Gundy talked a lot about how they tried to gradually ramp up your preparation for the season, didn't push you a lot early. I know you push yourself, but how do you feel about the way you're coming into this and your fitness level, the way you feel, all of that right now?
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, I'm bigger, stronger, faster. I fixed a lot of things that, I need to work on. So I feel good going into the season.
The other thing I was going to ask too, you jumped in with Trevor Lawrence and some of the players. They continue to go on. Your thoughts on players stepping out? Obviously, you've been a part of that this summer, but your thoughts on players' voices being heard?
I mean, I think, the players' voices are, very important. We're the people playing. So, to hear our voices and consider what we're saying, I think that's important. So, everything that they're doing, everything that, I was trying to do, I think it was just for, the greater good.
Thank you, Chuba.
Thanks.
Our next question is going to come from Scott Wright from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Scott.
Chuba, you mentioned the phrase of the greater good. There was a lot of stuff this summer that you were involved in that was for the greater good. Where does that come from in you? Was there a model of that from you that was laid out for you?
I mean, anyone that knows me knows that, I just want what's best for my teammates and, just for people in general, even people I don't know. So I'm always just, I always got the right intention in mind. I'm always just trying to, help in any way I can. So in regards to, the greater good, that's what I'm referring to, just helping out in any way I can.
Specifically to your team, have you guys seen some of the progress starting to happen that you were wanting to see when you spoke out over the summer?
Definitely. I mean, we've definitely grown more as a team and just as a program. I mean, a lot of that stuff, it happened and some things didn't happen the way they should have. But in the end, I felt it was, the best, not the best thing, but I felt that, it helped us in the end and, we're heading in the right direction. So I definitely think, like I said, we're heading in the right direction.
Thanks, Chuba.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question comes from Adam Cook from CTV up in Canada. Go ahead, Adam.
Thanks very much, Gavin. Nice to see you again, Chuba. Obviously, you've seen what the NHL and the NBA has been able to achieve in the bubble. Your season has been delayed at least a week right now. Like the NHL, the NBA has had success playing during this pandemic, but I just wonder what the players' level of comfort is at this point, going ahead. And I guess the school announced today that there's 7 active cases within the football program somewhere, but just what's your level of comfort going ahead with college football now?
I mean, I feel that, a lot of people are comfortable. Obviously, there's going to be some people that aren't, I can't speak for everybody, but, from our team, I know a lot of us just want to play. That's the biggest thing for us. It's been a long time. We missed spring ball. We got a little bit of work in the summertime. So now that the game got pushed back a little, I know people are just itching to play. So that's really what's on our mind, just getting ready to play, and that's about it.
And I know you're a big team guy, and you're probably not going to speak to this. So I'm not sure where your comfort level is about this, but just after what you were able to achieve, everybody's kind of wondering what's in store for an encore. Just how, from a personal standpoint, how big of a year is this just for you?
I mean, it's just a big year for our team. I wouldn't say it's just a big year for me. I mean, I didn't come back to break records for myself. I came back to win a Big 12 championship and a national championship with my team. So, that's my main goal.
Thanks, Chuba.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Garen Emig of the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Garen.
Chuba, it really is good to see you again. Thanks for stopping and talking. Robert mentioned your involvement with specifically with Trevor Lawrence, and I wanted to ask how it came to be that you got involved in the national "We Want to Play" movement. That I think it was like a Sunday night, right? Where you were on a Zoom call with Trevor, Justin Fields, some other prominent players nationally. Could you give us sort of the backstory as to how you got involved in that?
It's pretty much just a bunch of guys coming together, wanting to play. It's just a bunch of players that are, trying to voice their opinion for, their team and, all the respective players in, college football. So, that's all that really happened there.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about was the importance, given again, you stepping out in social media, especially these last 4 or 5 months. How would you describe the importance for fans of OSU football and fans of yours on Saturday to see you as more than a football player and to see you more multidimensionally through all this?
I mean, I know a lot of people see me as Chuba Hubbard, the football player, and they see stuff on social media, but a lot of people don't actually know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm someone that I'm a caring person. I care a lot about my teammates. I care a lot about people I don't even know, like I said earlier. So I'm always trying to, be for the greater good. That's always what I'm trying to do. So, sometimes I may slip up and do the wrong thing, but I always got the right intentions. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to do my part to make this world a better place, this program a better place, and yeah.
For sure. Thanks.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Max Olson of The Athletic. Go ahead, Max.
Hey, Chuba, going back to July, you kind of logged off of Twitter after things just got so toxic on there. What was that experience like for you of just kind of the backlash you had to deal with, and what did it take to kind of keep your head right and get away from that stuff?
My head's always been right. That Twitter world can be crazy sometimes, but my focus was just on, helping people in any way I could, and then football. So I gotta stay out of that Twitter stuff.
All right, our next question comes from Jenny Carlson from The Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jenny.
Hey, Chuba, how are you?
Did you?
I'm well, thanks. Hey, you talking about helping other people. I know that, like your mom, I think she spent some time as a nurse, maybe still is. I mean, I'm thinking about sort of influences that maybe you saw other people along the way who had a similar mentality. Are there those folks that when you talk about, caring for your teammates and wanting to affect positive change, are there people that you sort of took those cues from, even maybe back into your childhood?
Definitely. I mean, if you know anything about who I am or my upbringing, like I always say, everybody has their struggles, and I definitely have my struggles, and I had a lot of people in my life that were there for me. So I realized, not everybody gets that. So, I'm just trying to, be what, those people were to me. So.
Is it sort of takes a village to raise a child? Is that sort of what you're hearkening back to there a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Our next question comes from Frank Bonner of the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Chuba, good to see you again. Obviously, speaking out on certain issues in society, race-related, is important to you. How do you continue to, I guess, keep your foot on the gas, so to speak, and keep your ear to the ground and stuff like that, while putting all your effort into this college football season?
I mean, for me, it's not really, anything that's on my shoulders. It doesn't weigh me down or anything. Doing the right thing is just, that should just come with who you are. So, football is always going to be there. I'm going to work hard every single day and, do everything when it comes to that. And I'm also just going to try to be the best person I can be. So, it's not hard doing both. You just got to put a little effort in, that's all.
Appreciate it.
Our next question comes from Nathan Thompson from Fox 23 in Tulsa. Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you. Chuba, you had obviously talked about things needing to change at OSU before you came back and play. You feel that things have changed, and what specifically could you tell us that changed about the program that's made you willing to come back to play?
Yeah, kind of like I said before, we're definitely, grew from it and we're a better program from it. But right now, we're just focused on Tulsa and winning that game.
So you can't say anything specifically about what happened or what changed?
Yeah, like I said, we're just focusing on, Tulsa and, we're a better team from everything that happened.
And speaking of Tulsa, how did you take it? How are you taking it now that you were, I'm sure, revved up to play Saturday and now you have to wait another week? And does it change your thought process on how likely this season is to be played fully?
Nah, whether we play today, tomorrow, next week, 5 months from now, I'm going to be ready.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Jason Elmquist of the Stillwater News Press. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Chuba. Speaking of the uncertainty with the Tulsa game, what's the mental approach now? Having gotten up for this being the possible start to the season to now waiting, is there a different mindset now going into this week, knowing that there's not a game at the end of it?
Just kind of like what I said before. Whenever the game is, I'll be ready. If we got to practice a little extra, that's just the better for us to get ready. So I'm not really worried about when we play. I know we'll play eventually, so we'll be ready.
Now, when you do get to play, there is going to be some fans in the stands, but not as much as usual. What are you anticipating that the atmosphere to be like with only a couple thousand people allowed inside Boone Pickett Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I know with the fans that will be there, it'll still be a great atmosphere. Obviously, we wish we could have everybody there, but we can't control all that. Got to make sure everybody's safe and everything. So it'll still be fun. We can still play, and that's all that matters.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Jacob Unruh of the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Chuba, how's it going?
How are you?
Good, good. I was curious. One of the things that came out this summer was the Diversity and Inclusion Council. Can you kind of talk more about that and tell us about it and kind of how things are going with that?
The Diversity and Inclusion Council is doing a lot of great things. In regards to that, like I said, we're moving in the right direction on Oklahoma State, like as a university and as an athletic program. Sorry, my bad. So there's a lot of good things happening there.
Switching gears a little bit, I know recently the university announced the influencer app for you guys to deal with for the name, image, and likeness coming up. I know you're not heavily involved with social media right now, but how do you feel like that can kind of help you? You've already got an established reputation, but how do you feel like that can help you?
Oh, well, I don't know too much about that. I think that only really will affect the people for next year because I know they'll be able to, start to, make money off their image and stuff like that. So I'm happy for all of them.
Thanks, Chuba.
Thank you.
All right, down to our last couple questions before we got to cut you loose to get into the cold tanks. Our next question is going to come from Cody Nagel of Go Pokes. Go ahead, Cody.
Hey, Chuba, thanks for your time. I guess since we don't get to see much of practice or anything, how have the guys behind you and LD looked, especially Desmond and DeAndre?
All of them look great. I mean, everybody's working hard. We got Dominic, we got Micah, we got so many. We have a talented group. Like how we used to talk. I mean, what was it, like 2-3 years ago? We used to talk about how talented of a group we used to have with me, JD, J Hill, LD, and all of us. But we have a really talented group right now. So I'm excited to see those guys ball.
What stood out about Dominic Richardson in the short time that he's been with the program?
It's just crazy because I see a lot of, these freshmen come in like DeAndre, Dominic, all these guys, even Salters. And I'm just like, they're way better than me when I was a freshman. So I know they can do a lot of great things and, even be better than me. So they're heading in the right direction.
All right, thank you.
All right, and our final question is going to come from Robert Allen of Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
Thank you. Let me start with this. Those guys, I'm sure, are good, but don't cut yourself short. You were pretty good the day you walked in the door. I witnessed that. So purely from a football standpoint, Chuba, what are you most excited about maybe being different about your game or improving in your game? I know you said bigger, stronger, faster, but one thing I sense is maybe having more of a role catching the football with Casey Dunn as the offensive coordinator, but I don't want to answer for you. What are you excited from a football standpoint that your game may include this year that maybe it hasn't as much in the previous years?
I mean, since I've got here, I've worked on my hand with Coach Dunn every year since I got here. Actually, every practice pretty much. So that's been an ongoing thing. But I've definitely worked on my routes and flexing out and stuff like that. And like in regards to me, improving my game, trying to improve, running between the tackles, getting around the edge, open field cuts, all these different things. Obviously last year, a lot of good things happened, but I had a great O-line. I had a great team around me to help me with those things. So I just realized that I got to work on a lot of things, and I did. So I'm happy where I'm at right now. So.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
So Chuba, that'll do it for the questions, but is there anything that you wanted to share just kind of while we've got everybody here? Anything that maybe we missed?
No.
You're good? Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time. We really do appreciate it, especially after a practice. It means the world.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have a good night.